So, did you have a good conversation in your groups on these questions? Did it generate some interesting discussion? Yeah, good.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. So I'm going to go to the group. Let's see. Which group should we go to now? Okay, yeah, because we hadn't heard you. Anna, we have not heard your voice today. So what group were you in? What happened? What was discussed?
My group was with Jocelyn, Luis,
Yes.
and Catherine.
Okay.
We the four of us work in terminal in container terminals or in ports.
Yeah.
So we were discussing, each one of us shared how do they have their own process back in the company, and we found some common points. We have the annual evaluation. Each one is conducted by the leader. Both the person and its leader participate, and they both agree. And we had a very interesting discussion because we were just sharing how the workforce or the people tend to request everything that they think they need for them to achieve the goals or whatever they're setting up with their leaders. So one of the discussions with, for example, Luis was asking is, but if you want to develop, the company doesn't have to solve or give everything you need, because you have also available many tools in the internet, in many training systems. So you just not, but that's his vision. You just not depend on what the company gives you in order for you to achieve what you're setting up as a goal for the year with your leader. Jocelyn, for example, was sharing how they, after the evaluations and everything, they meet up with HR, and how do they prioritize or define how are going to take all the needs and all of the programs that they are planning or forecasting for the next year, prioritizing the ones that can have a greater impact in the workforce. For example, I am HR, so I was saying that I'm always used to see that people try to solve everything asking for training. And many of the things that you are looking in these type of evaluations, when is obviously sometimes in our companies attached to compensation or some bonus for great results. People are tending to just say, I have this problem, or I need this, and they try and they always look as training as a solution for all of the issues that they are facing. And I was telling them, as a training person, so a person that works in training, training is not the only way to solve whatever you need. You have many ways to solve things, but people are used to say, just like, I have this problem, I need training.
Yeah. So that's an interesting point. I've worked in training and development also my whole career, so absolutely, I'm very used to that. Is, this is a problem. Can the person go on a training course to fix it? Or this is So looking to do what is easy versus effective. And then that also says, what do we understand about the performance management process that leads people to do that, where it's not effective. But I want to ask, so you had Louis and Jocelyn in the group, and who else?
And Catherine.
And
Catherine was giving us some advice in how do you take people, or as a leader, when if you're the leader and you're conducting, because Luis was saying that he has to do some of these interviews shortly, and Catherine was giving him advice because she said you need to, like, I don't know how to explain it, but you don't let the people think whatever, but you give them or guide them to whatever you want them as a leader to get.
Achieve. Okay. Yes. Yeah. You paint. Okay. So from Jocelyn or Louis, anything, in your operational environment, do you see the performance review process as effective? What does it set out to achieve? And is it fit for purpose, i.e., what it sets out to achieve is what it's achieving? So for the two of you in that group, any one of you wants to come up with an answer to that. So do you see the performance review process as effective? Does it achieve what it sets out to achieve? I.e., is it fit for purpose?
I think it takes a lot of time. I mean, I think it's spread through the year a lot. So each time you have to do something about it, about the process. If it's spread through 12 months, people like maybe let it pass through, like they don't give it, or and I'm included, we don't give that necessary absolute importance of it. So maybe it shouldn't be that the process should be that long, but it's a 1 year activity. So I think maybe we should talk internally about what can we do to make it like more impactful.
Okay, great, Louis. So the performance review process, it's an annual thing. You do it once a year, correct?
Yes, there are
And you
some
find,
steps.
and it takes a lot of time. It takes a lot
Yes.
of time. Yeah, and the job. I mean, what does it set out to achieve? What do you think a performance review sets out to achieve? What is the goal of this annual performance review, do you think?
Well, they are based on some goals that you have to achieve, personal goals, and also company objectives.
Yes.
So
Yes.
maybe you cannot impact direct company objectives, but personal goals should be somehow related. That if you achieve them, you are um, achieving company objectives.
Yeah.
So that's something we intended to do at the beginning of the year when we set out personal objectives, because we have different roles. So the auxiliares, I don't know how to say auxiliares, supervisors, and coordinators. And some do some tasks, and well, some auxiliares do different tasks than other auxiliares. So you have to split them out.
All auxiliaries. Yeah.
Yes, auxiliaries, and
Yes.
you have to set some different tasks for each type of auxiliaries. Same for supervisors. There are maritime supervisors and yard supervisors, but all objectives are the same for everybody, for each class. But now I'm thinking about it. All people is not the same. So you when you are going to review each, for example, the three maritime supervisors or four or whatever they have the same goals and the same objectives. But when you are going to review them, they might have different. Well, they will have different skills that they need to improve. And I was telling my group, if you in that interview see that one of them needs something and the other one needs another thing and the third one needs other thing that is not the same, you have three things you have to attack, and maybe human resources management doesn't have. Well, there's what I told Milena and the group. If there's not budget to do all things, and she said, well, not everything is training, but then we have to do to see what we need, so they close that gap of what they need.
Yeah. And that's always tricky, isn't it?
Yes.
Because it's okay. We didn't achieve this goal. So what can we do about it? And of course, training is the nice offer, isn't it? The offer, but it's often all kinds of other operational issues that is preventing performance that need to be addressed.
I
Yeah.
think I can rescue here a comment that Catherine was saying in the group is that performance is also impacted by your soft skills, not only your technical skills. So sometimes you need to work on soft skills and all the competencies you work as a company and that you need for a role. And maybe these things that are not so technical can also have a great impact in performance.
Yeah. And that is, more companies are moving towards that, because in the past they were measuring KPIs, the performance results that you have to achieve, and that was very task focused. But then they understand actually this person is, doesn't communicate nicely, doesn't build good relations, doesn't work outside of their own area, and that actually behaviors of people has a huge impact on productivity and a huge impact on how people work together. So then they started to introduce competencies around behaviors and values. So again, it's looking at, does your company have values to which they attach competencies? For example, the value of perseverance, or of, they value integrity, or they value great customer service.